overwhelmingly good. And to me, this is not the case. We'll obviously see if I get proven wrong on that. But outside of that, their lineup also, like, you have this Quap Kunkka who really want to fight, but then if AM is passive and Shaker doesn't have a dagger, and your 5 is a Witch Doctor who isn't very mobile, I think there's just so much pressure on S4 and Limp to get a lot of stuff done and repel aggression. And they might have to work overtime, and it's very easy to make mistakes then. So, big concern. I mean, I put names on the heroes now, but like regardless of who the players are, it's still just the hero thing I'm thinking about, not play styles.
Right. Okay. Well, this will be an interesting game 1 of this best of 3 for the lower bracket. Synderen has chosen Viking. Wait, did you actually choose? You just said their lineup is better.
I feel
like these are 2 different discussions, though. Which lineup you like better, and what team do you think is going to win?
Yeah,
because they're not always the same.
Absolutely. But yeah, I like Viking in this game. Large part because of how we saw them play against Secret, right? That it definitely plays a big role in my like ranking of them. Is how do you fare against the best of the best?
What's with all the scribbling?
That shows a lot about a team. And let's not forget their previous results in this group. Now we're obviously in the playoffs, and Viking got 3rd place in their group out of 6 teams. They had a 2-1 victory against OG. They 2-0'd Bait along with other teams. And they 2-0'd Unique.
Savage.
And what was their last match that I'm missing here? That was the Secret series, right? They got 2-0 by Secret. So that was their only 2-0 loss, was against Secret.
And it was not like a stomp either, right?
No, it wasn't. They pulled them to 60 minutes in game 2. They got 2-1 by Nigma. That was the one I was missing. So that was another 2-1 to go. So yeah, they are taking games off the top dogs, and they're looking good while losing. So that's the sign of a team that has a lot of promise.
That's a good way to put it. S4 is able to take the bottom outpost for now. FNG might be running into a little bit of trouble, but Aramis's boots not quite enough to catch up. So it's going to be for bottom lane, Tobi on the Necro, like you mentioned.
And here we
Will
go.
this actually be a 1v2? Are they going to switch things up? Because it looks like Nikobaby starting in the bot lane on the AM. With the ES close by.
Think about what Alliance accomplished with this. If they play Shaker AM bot, I would feel pretty good about playing Necro into that 1v2. That's a great 1v2 lane for Necro because, like, let's say it was Witch Doctor AM, then Witch Doctor could bully this Necro really hard, but Shaker is literally just a Fissure. So if the Fissure doesn't block Tobi off completely, he has a lot of room to move. Yeah, there you go. There's the Witch Doctor TP. So they're going to feign that Witch Doctor is top. He TP's bottom, and now Viking are going to realize what's going on here. Now they have a choice to make. How much do we help Tobi? He's actually dead now.
Yeah, Cask is coming, I believe. Fissure first. They don't even need it. Just the body blocks are more than enough. He's going to pop the Fairy Fire as well, despite being dead multiple times over, it felt like. So first blood.
Witch Doctor instead of AM.
I mean, Witch Doctor can become a carry, Cinder. I don't know if you've seen it before. The Rush Ags.
I don't really play in that bracket, Shannon. I can't relate.
Why do you need to always say something negative about me?
Why do you need to always say something stupid?
Carry Witch Doctor, Synderen. You're saying you've never seen that, even as a support carrying the game. Oh boy, he might be dead again. TPs are coming, and he's just super dead. This time it does go to Nikobaby, and he does not have a TP either. He has to have the walk of shame all the way back in the bot lane. Synderen.
That is real bad. Like, you just got killed the exact same way twice without making any adjustments. You didn't play at a distance. He was in XP range at his tower, but he got greedy to try to get CS. And considering neither Witch Doctor nor Shaker had shown yet in other lanes or making moves around the map, he has to assume they're still there.
All right, I think it's time to switch up positions. This is going to be a position 3 Clockwork and position 4 Necro. Agreed? Is there any time in Dota where that is actually a thing, Synderen? Where
somebody has such a bad start that you demote them?
Yes.
Yeah,
like
it
actually
happens.
Demote them.
I do think that happens, yeah. I do think sometimes it's the best strategy. As long as the hero that gets promoted can perform enough in the game from a strategic standpoint that it can use the farm well enough.
Gotcha.
Sometimes it's a necessity. We're not at that state here, though. I think, especially now that Shaker has rotated off, Tobi's back to the lane getting level 2, and Clockwork's here now with almost level 3. That's a nasty hero to play Witch Doctor against in lane, by the way. You get caught, you're in trouble.
Well, I'm keeping. Oh, there's going to be another cask in the bot lane. Maledict to follow, but he gets the Ghost Shroud off.
He's skilled at level 2.
So we'll be fine. Yep, that's maybe not what you want, but it's what you need to survive.
Yeah, I think it's okay. He has loads of regen because he, just died twice, so he didn't get to use any of it.
Oh, top lane. Oh, they don't layer the stuns very well, but ES is here with the fissure to just make sure they know he is here. Bot lane again, Tobi getting completely drained of mana. And that is another kill for Nikobaby. That's 3 deaths for your Necro early on. Is this enough for your demotion?
This is a really good start for Alliance. I did not I did not think this could go this well for them in the early laning stage, and after seeing it happen, I don't think it should have. But that's how it goes sometimes. They take an opportunity, they see the chance to do it, and it works out. They've pulled it off wonderfully here. Now even going into Aramis, the perfect cask bounce.
Ooh, Maledict is still there, and he will tick away. So that is a second kill for FNG now. So each respective hero in this lane has 2 kills to their name. They're very happy about that. Handsken was looking for something at the top lane, but not able to find it in the end. Before we get back to the bottom lane, which just sounds like there's just going to be kills over and over, we can talk about mid very briefly here, as Aramis is actually TP'd to potentially get this gank onto Limp. But looking at the CS, Limp with 21-9 versus the Embers 18-5, so relatively even overall. They've both been at very low HP throughout this laning stage thus far, which I guess should be expected considering the heroes that they're playing. But what do you think of that lane in general? The Ember versus Kunkka. Does it favor?
I think it's a pretty clearly Kunkka-favored lane. And Limp is a laning expert. I would say it's perhaps his biggest strength in Dota. I think at one point it was, relative to the rest of his skills, it was a bigger part. But I think he's improved a lot in terms of like decision-making mid-game, rotations, knowing what his timing is, what to do. But he has always been a really good laner. And now the rest of his game has just kind of caught up to that. You can see he has a big lead here as well. 400 net worth, minute 5 mid with no kills is substantial.
And it should grow as he can just go to the jungle after pushing out the wave continually, if that's what he actually wants to do. Level 5.5 right now versus Boom's just level 5, so a half level advantage overall. And if we continue to look at the net worth, AM is on top, which shouldn't be too big of a surprise considering the 2 kills to his name right now. Yeah. But Luna's actually doing decent in the top lane, as we're going to see the Lucent Beam onto S4, along with the Magic Missile. Shad attempting to run out, but the Fissure was blocking him for quite a while. Looks like no kills will come of this, but a lot of harassment damage both ways.
I actually think Shad could have manned up there instead of backing down. I think he could have just stayed on top of the Queen, forced her to blink away. He had 19 sticks. There's no way he dies there.
Tobi is in a lot of trouble again. Pops the Ghost Shroud. Completely mana drained again. And again, a kill. Feels like a broken record here in the bottom lane, Syndrome.
Don't you just love when you build up a player and you're like, this is one of his best heroes, this is his favorite playstyle, and then he goes 0-4 in 6 minutes? Yeah, it's just great. It makes you look like you really know what you're talking about, you know?
Well, it's Dota.
Everybody has bad games and tough starts, and it's about dealing with it. But obviously Alliance should be very happy right now. Their win condition is doing awesome. Their mid lane is winning. S4 is doing fine. He's not owning, but I don't think he can expect to against this dual lane with a Shaker support. Overall, the pieces are coming together nicely. It's still less than
mid lane. We're going to have the boat, Cinder Man. It does hit Boom.
It's fine. No, that was a range creep.
Oh, he was fine, Cinder said, and he died literally half a second later.
He was not fine.
The caster curse is true to its word. FNG in the bot lane now, getting chased by Aramis. So finally a kill going the way of Viking.
Yeah.
He's going to take some heavy damage with that Maledict, but will live. Yeah, it's very, very bad overall, though. I mean, we can talk about the item timings here. Nikobaby has the Ring of Health, and obviously going for the Battle Fury. Has there ever been a time where Battle Fury was not a thing on AM? Like, even back to Dota 1? Was there a brief time where... Oh my god, okay, well, Fissure's going to take out Venge in the top lane.
There was a time in Dota 2, actually, where the common build for a short while was Vanguard Manta.
Ugh. Oh yeah, I actually do remember that. And at some point, people were going Vlad's as well, but I think they went
Vanguard Manta or Vlad's Manta. I think both things happened for a short amount of time. I think Kvos did it before you were born.
Yeah.
Back in the good old highlight games of the 60s.
Back when I was a Counter-Strike professional player, you mean?
Yes.
AKA in my dreams. Top lane. Venge does TP back. Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to find a kill here unless maybe a level 6 from Shad comes in as a surprise
factor. Look at what
factor.
Limp is doing, by the way. He's identifying in this matchup how much stronger he is than the Ember. So he's actually chasing him in the jungle instead of... Oh,
bottom
nice.
lane.
Okay.
Speaking of getting chased, FNG. He's going to take a death pulse. It's not going to be enough for the kill, though. The counter ult from Nikobaby, not enough to actually do much damage to the Necro, but no deaths either way.
Consider Tobi is 0-4. He has more net worth than the Queen of Pain, and he has the same experience almost. This is after being killed 4 times. So, like, when you look at the scoreline, the state of the game is not that awful. Actually, the biggest loss for Viking is in the mid lane at this point, relatively speaking. The Ember being, what's that, 1,000 net worth behind Kunkka is the entirety of Alliance's lead. And what Limp is doing so well is he's playing the strength in the early laning stage where he's ahead, pressuring, and then he uses that advantage to not only get a solo kill, but then start chasing Ember in the jungle, because he knows, if I was Ember here, what would I do? Like, what are my options? The moment I show in mid, I want to just push out the wave and then go and farm side camp. Well, guess what? I'm just going to run at you and fight you at side camp, and then we can let the creeps in the middle fight each other. I don't care if you don't get anything, because I'm going to steal your farm, and if I bully you away, I'll go back to mid and take that too. So it's like he's basically losing net worth, but he's losing less than the Ember, and that's a really good aggressive mindset in a lot of games. That's a very standout game to me that I remember from TI, which is way more extreme because it was with Alchemist. I think it was, maybe was playing Ursa against someone's Alchemist. I don't remember who. And Sumail had a different, had a similar game where he was tiny against Alchemist. And they would literally just not care about the creeps in lane. They would run after the Alchemist. Just let the midwave die to the other midwave. And all they did was hunt this guy that they knew they were stronger than to make him miss his timing, even if it cost them their own. That's good stuff. Oh no. Limp. Not going to be seeing this one coming. Yeah, he's in trouble.
Surrounded right now. Inside Cogs does hit the Torrent, and Ghost Ship is on its way. I think this is enough. FNG is here to help out as well. The cask will not bounce more than once. Doesn't look like the courier will fall. Limp continuing to get buffed with this ship. It's about to end now, so he's going to tick down. But FNG, it will cost him his life. X marks onto the Ember. Limp has to be careful, though. Another Cogs into battery assault, and down he goes. So great transition here from Viking.
That was a big play from Aramis. He set up both of those kills with one move. FNG was just coming in to help, and then they got an extra casualty. Only because Limp wanted to X-mark there. He got a run away. He knew he was safe, but wanted to
for sure
put a bit of pressure on Ember, and it cost him his life. So taking advantage there.
Top lane, by the way. There is handsken is here with a fissure. They do have Sonic. I don't know, he's level... When do you get Sonic Wave? Is it 8 or 9 these days?
Usually 6.
Oh, you do get it at 6. Okay.
He has an empty skill.
He doesn't have enough
he has an
HP
unspent
right
skill point, so he could skill it right now if he wanted to.
Oh, there's the Eclipse. The creep wave is going to tank a bit of it, but the damage has been done. So Viking, another kill to their name. So, like you were attesting to, despite the feeding efforts of Tobi here in the bot lane, they are not panicking, Cinder. They're methodically going about this game, and they have come back into it and, in fact, have a slight lead at this point in terms of the net worth. Tobi's going to run into Nikobaby, though. You get a lot of mana drained as a result. Does have the mana void available, but it is only level 1. It's somewhat weak.
The Dire might want to mine their top.
Actually, they did buff this not too long ago.
He's bought the Arcane Boots, so he's going Greaves and...
Top lane, Cinderman.
Oh, shit.
Queen of Pain dies, and a tier 1 tower. Continue your thought process, please.
Yeah. So this is a lineup for Greaves, right? You buy the Arcane Boots on Necrophos basically exclusively when you want to go for Greaves. Oh, they're gonna go on Seleri.
Will he ever get the Greaves if he dies here again? Mana Void, nice swap though. The boat would have done heavy damage. I think he would have lived either way. But sharing the damage. Sharing is caring when you're teammates. Mid lane, we had the fissure come out. Echo Slam still available. Trying to... Yeah, Chains completely misses there. Limp is back in action. He's actually going for a BKB first. Very interesting. What do you think of that?
Step lively now. Your admiral is on board.
He might feel
so
like
that they can fight and create as much space for AM to just farm early on.
Exactly. They need to have value items when Viking hit their timing, right? Like Luna and Necro and Ember, tons of magic damage, want to run at you, take team fights, and you know you're going to have this dead weight in AM for a while. So getting any high impact item to bridge the gap between, say, minute 15 to 30 is really important. And I think the BKB is a solid choice. I'm not fully confident that this is the best item he could buy. But there's a very good reasoning for doing it, at least. Bottom lane, Tobi.
Oh, yeah. He looks
good
to
hook
be
shot.
Yeah, Aramis with a nice hook shot onto the ES. You're seeing how hard that counters the hero. He's just stuck inside. And Tobi will live as a result of this rotation. Maybe a little bit of an over-rotation, though. Did require 2 TPs. The Ember Spear's not kind of stuck down here. S4 taking heavy damage on the top lane in the meantime. Magic Missile not quite there, but the swap into the Magic Missile, Loosen Beam combo. And Viking looking very good now.
Why did he not blink into the trees? He actually tried to over-blink the Venge, who was showing to him for a while. I'm not sure if he was just not aware of how
They did have Wave of Terror still, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I still thought he would maybe be able to find a spot in the trees and at least take the chance, right? Because this just felt like doom.
Bottom lane, Mana Void doing a hell of a lot of damage, but Nikobaby now stuck inside the cogs will blink to safety.
Radiant's bottom tower ain't a pretty sight right
I actually don't remember when they buffed his ult, because I remember it being 0.4 damage per mana point missing. Now it's 0.8 at level 1. That's literally double what it used to be back in the day.
Yeah, I think the last worst version was 0.65 on level 1. And that's a while ago. It's been a long time. Oh, Tobi's in trouble. Well, he doesn't go shot again.
He does, but the boat's going to do extra damage now. Death Ward to follow once it's done. And it will be enough. Hookshot a little bit too late, but it might be a kill here either way for the Clockwork, so they get something out of it at least. It's a 1-for-1, but definitely in favor of Alliance there. Tier 1 tower being pressured, but Ember Spirit. Now, you were talking about the Spirit Vessel not being required against Necro. Why is... I mean, obviously they're owning him without it right now, but is it really not like an actual requirement?
It's clearly very, very good, right?
That it's passive now that has some effect, right?
Yeah, I mean, of course it's good. I'm not going to say it's not good. It clearly is. But let's look at the draft, right, from Alliance. The only hero that can buy it this game is the Kunkka. And I wouldn't really be mad at that. I think that would be fine. But you have to remember what the trade-off is, right? It means if you buy this vessel, you're way weaker defensively. It's basically an offensive item, right? Like, yes, it gives health, but compare it to, say, a BKB that allows you to play your hero freely in fights, or some sort of big strength item that beefs you up. It falls short of that. So when you buy a vessel that specifically counters only one hero, I think it needs to counter him at the right timing so that when you get this vessel, a big play happens on the map that really cements your lead or gets you a lead. And I think a lot of the time people just buy Vessel because, oh, there's a hero in the enemy team that Vessel counters. But I don't think it's that black and white.
That is what I do.
It's not always that simple. Like in games where it counters, say, 2 or 3 heroes, it's way easier to convince yourself to buy it. But here, I actually don't disagree with their choice of not buying it, as crazy as that might sound against a Necro.
Well, speaking of the Necro, he is about to get overwhelmed here, potentially. 4 heroes for Alliance.
Double Bracer.
He's going to be really finishing mech pretty soon as well. He's playing this pretty well. They see him now with this offensive ward from FNG. And it sounded like a blink from AM. I guess he blinked away. He saw that Seleri was incoming. Torrent will connect into the fissure, into the boat, into death. The Alliance do get something out of it, not the Necro that they so prized. I mean, he's 0-5 with 5k net worth, which is pretty close to the mid Kunkka. Kunkka has just fallen off horribly. What happened? He's only died once. Is it this build that's not really amplifying his farming capabilities?
It's also that he's probably, he's making moves in the game because he feels like he has to, right? That's the strategy. Requires him to take initiative because who else is going to do it, right? Like Shaker Witch Doctor, Shake without Dagger, pretty limited options. He needs to have a core to play with. So the Kunkka has to get involved a lot, and that obviously costs on the farm account. Ember has successfully overtaken him on CS and has 2 kills to his name, whereas Kunkka Well, actually, they have the same score. They have 2-1-1.
So do you think that's more of a drafting thing then, that he feels the need that he has to do that despite having that pretty big lead early on? He wasn't able to actually snowball that at all. And now, like you said, it's just reverse fortunes now. I
think it's good that he's making moves, but I can't help but feel like Alliance haven't brought the correct number of heroes when they've made moves.
Bottom lane. Ghost Shroud is there, but here's a counter initiation from Aramis. Not able to really hit the hook shot, though. Wave of Terror. Shows that Witch Doctor's in the tree. Sonic Wave onto 3 heroes. Death Ward to follow. Vengeful Spirit's taking the brunt of the damage. Necro Ult not quite enough to take out S4, as there is now an Echo Slam onto the Soul Ember Spirit, who goes very aggro onto S4, but not enough to get the kill still. 0 kills in this fight somehow. And here they start to fall. So Witch Doctor's the first. Nice swap there for Tobi to stay alive. Magic Missile. Not enough to really do any heavy damage to Limp. So it's a 1-for-1, a Witch Doctor for an Ember. Both teams doing as much as they can to stay alive.
Yeah. There are quite a bit of missed spells there. But Alliance do come out victorious. Slightly. It wasn't a big win. They used a lot of spells for that. They used all their ultis. But they do trade core for support. However, if they end up losing this tower now, then it's not that great. And it does seem like a possibility. Use your damn shovel, Shad. Find some treasure.
Please. Please shovel. God, please.
Radiant's mid tower could use a hand.
That used to be the most busted neutral item, funnily enough.
It is still very good.
Bottom tower.
But yes, it used
busted,
to be broken.
Though.
No, I agree. It's good.
Do you think that the neutral items right now are very balanced?
I don't know. I feel like it's so hard to wrap your head around, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's hard to
game
gauge.
Dependent, I
like
suppose.
The best metric you have is win rate for the individual item being found, right? But there's so many combinations. Like if you find this item together with something else, or you find it when you're playing this exact hero. Like let's say an item like Essence Ring, the old Essence Ring. Let's say it had a win rate of 53%. You'd be like, that's pretty balanced. But then its win rate on IO was 80. Is it a balanced item then, right? Like if that's how it was, like just to put it on edge.
Yeah. No, that's true.
It's hard to really quantify easily, I think. You can't just flat out look at win rates. Handsken's dead. Oh, they don't have Reaper.
Yeah, Reaper's up in 2 seconds, so he is in range now. And there we go. That's going to be the first Reaper kill of the day.
He's pretty far from Dagger. It's 19 minutes in. He has 1,000 to go. Viking are hitting all of the timings right now of their lineup. They're going to start running at more and more towers, while AM has to keep working on that Battle Fury. We'll get bullied away here by Luna TP. So, oh, Aramis.
Yep, hook shot in. They know that somebody TP'd out already, so this is going to be an easy kill on the Witch Doctor. See if they can turn this around on the Limp as well. S4 does have Sonic Wave available. It's going to Scream of Pain first into the Sonic onto 2. Tobi is super healthy, though. BKB pop from Limp. That is the 10-second one. And it feels like it was used for almost... Oh, okay, Mana Void. That is definitely enough to kill the old Clockwork.
Pretty good outcome for Alliance. They obviously take advantage of Nikobaby's split push. Seeing the Luna TP allows Nico to connect bot and give them a 5v4 fight. Trading 1-for-1. It's not great. I mean, you got Clock for Witch Doctor, but at least the Clockwork had a kill streak. So a lot of gold going to Nikobaby there. 340 makes his rotation worthwhile instead of just farming a camp. But only just narrowly, right? Considering how fast AM can farm right now.
Yeah, true.
But it's still good for him, of course.
I mean, Nikobaby does have the Battle Fury Luna. What's that?
Luna is still ahead on net worth. Like, think about that for a second. This AM had free farm in lane, got 3 kills.
Yeah, that's true.
And has just been able to rotate around, and he is still matched. This Luna hero is really good right now.
So it's
very good. Reason it's banned a lot in top tier Dota.
Yeah, Boom very close to finishing the Desolator, just finishing up the Blightstone, so we'll be done with that in the next camp or so.
Tobi has Greaves, bottom. Now he can...
he sure does.
What can he remove? Shadow Strike, the Vessel that they don't have.
Well, you can't remove the passive aspect of the Vessel, Synderen. Just remember.
That is true.
Although, how does that work with BKB? I assume it does not do anything.
It does not pierce BKB.
Yeah. Another reason to buy Vessel. I mean, I understand that it feels awkward to sometimes buy it.
Wait, why is another reason to buy it that it doesn't pierce BKB?
Because... Oh, you're saying it does not
It does
the
not.
amplification does not work?
Correct. I believe the aura doesn't work on BKB heroes or any magic immunity for that matter.
Okay, well,
I think.
Do you think Necro's going to buy a BKB?
No.
Okay.
I think he's going to buy a pipe because it's Tobi, and Tobi buy aura.
Buy aura, please. What other aura does he get after that, Syndrome?
He even found another shawl. I don't know if you mentioned that, but what a god tier item this game. It's so good.
Really good. See, that feels like one of those, it's either not useful at all on your team because you have nobody that can really use it, or it's just god tier.
Yeah, and imagine that item has 50% win rate. But then it's like, just because in some games it's insane and other games it's terrible. Like, is that good? Maybe it is. It depends what you're going for, right?
True.
At the very least, it's a very interesting item. I like the concept of it. Of like, you lose something to gain something else. I like that idea.
Yeah, just like my career.
Oh my god.
He's going to dodge the... Oh, it might not be enough, though. He gets swapped out by Seleri, so Seleri might die as a result.
Oh, this can get really bad for Alliance if Hookshot was there coming in on the Shaker. That could have been terrible, but they at least get out alive.
Boom, with the very fast slide of fist fingers. That was pretty impressive.
Quick. He dodged the fissure, right? I think that's what happened.
Yeah, dodged the fissure, then ended up getting hit by Torrent Ship, but...
Yeah, but got swapped for that.
Indeed.
And that opens up for Roche. They know there's no boat. They have all their stuff. They're super strong together. They hit the timing
BKB now online for Shad.
Trouble brewing at Radiant's bottom tower.
This is going to be a freebie. It does cost them their 2-1 tower. That handsken just goes, slaps in the...
It's about the best trade Lions could have hoped for. They would not have won a fight.
S4 as well. Yeah, for sure.
Not bad. That's a good play call from Alliance here.
They can't... I mean, I think they've shown the Blink Dagger, I believe, on handsken, so it's not going to be a big surprise now.
Yeah.
Of course, they probably were expecting it at this stage. It's a little later than you would like. Nikobaby pops the Manta Style to take off Searing Chains. And looks like he's going to run away now. So he's going for a Scotty next. So that's an item we didn't mention.
Radiant's top towers
good against
healing reduction.
Yeah, the healing reduction for Necro, which I don't know how massive. What percentage is it? It's like
35, right?
Okay, so it actually is pretty ginormous. That's nice.
Or am I wrong?
We're finally seeing it, Cinder. We talked about it so much before.
Yeah, it's really good this game because it has multiple things going for it. The one thing is the healing reduction against Necro, which is nice, but it's also a way for AM to stay on top of Luna. The move speed slow is important for him to be able to lock her down. Alternatively, you could have got something like an Abyssal or a Butterfly, but again, the added benefit is the counter to Necro and the health pull.
Mid lane, Limp. He's going to pop his ult. He's going to get swapped with the BKB active. And he's going to be brought down very easily. In fact, they're going to use the Reaper on him just for that extra death timer. 75 seconds on the deck.
Fuck you button.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that is at least a good wave cut from Nico. He cut the mid wave, so Viking are not going to be able to go high ground with this. If not, they might have actually tried. But
he's getting relatively close to this Scotty as well, so he's... I mean, is there a point in the game where they just can't handle anti-mage? Or do they have the heroes to deal with him when it gets to the late game?
Somebody's on a roll.
Oh, wait, what was that?
Witch Doctor's dead.
By Luna. Okay. No, Bench was there, I think. Okay. So, can AM overpower this game? Yes, he can, but I think he can theoretically, but not if this is the trajectory of the game. I think he needs more of a lead. He doesn't even have a lead against Luna still. I think AM is the kind of carry who farms usually faster than anybody else, but what balances it out is that he needs it to be strong. The hero needs multiple items to really pack a punch, and he's having a good game, Nico. It's not that.
Bottom lane fissure. Yeah, good combo here. Mana Void was expended. That is a level 3 Mana Void. He's now level 20, so definitely getting the levels out of this. And like we said, Scotty should be done soon. I would expect... I mean, how much... I was going to say, I don't know how much value Butterfly has in terms of the evasion aspect, but Abyssal probably the next item, I would imagine.
Looking twice at the lineups, maybe I'm slightly underestimating how much AM can do in this game, just because the enemy team doesn't have good single target carries, right? There's no like PA or... a Deso carrier. Ember has a Deso, but it's not the same as, somebody who hits you over and over and uses the minus armor to really truly kill you. but it's Deso plus Venge plus Luna Aura plus Dominator, right? Like all of it adds up, and it might still be too overpowering. But if AM gets Scotty plus Butter, maybe there is a timing where he is a true threat to Viking. But for now, I don't think he can teamfight still. I think if he jumps in, he's going to get mauled.
Do you think once he has the Scotty, that's enough HP to be able to start fighting?
I think he needs +1 items still.
Does he need to go BKB this game? Is that too much? In terms
I think
of
it's too much. I think he has to deal. His team doesn't have enough damage that he can have the luxury of going BKB now, I think. He's still doing it, though. I don't know if that's going to be the right choice. Yeah. I'm not sold. I get why you want to do this here, and maybe you feel like you need it to be able to stand and fight. And when he gets the BKB, by all means, he can go in and fight, because then he's not countered. But then I just don't know if he's going to kill them during that BKB. He hits for 240 now, which might sound great, but Luna has 30 armor, and he gives everybody else armor. And he's getting evasion now. The butterfly for Luna is complete. I think AM just actually flat out loses a man fight to Luna right now. I actually think he can't fight him. They both run in or blink in, use Manta. I think Luna wins.
So what would you go then? Like, would it be Abyssal? I mean, now that the evasion's online for... I mean, you don't buy MKB on this hero. Like, very special circumstances.
Maybe he's going BKB Rapier, and he hopes that the BKB can buy him enough time to get to the Rapier. And that's how you get the True Strike. It's probably what he's going to end up having to do in this game. But,
yeah. I mean, this is the time where Viking will probably just team up here, 5-man, try to get these towers.
Yeah, but Nico's doing a great job splitting. This is what he needs to do. Always keep them on their toes to get back to defend.
Yep, the joys of AM, as Luna will lose the Aegis now.
Didn't make it.
AM Alliance very clearly playing split push style. There's a very clear strategic call of how we need to play this game. We are avoiding them at all costs. And if they ever split up, we can try to take an opening like the one they took with Shaker and AM bot. That's the way you play the map here. And you can even see it in the warding, right? Alliance has a very deep ward bottom because they want to see a hero move out alone to start pushing waves. They have a deep ward top. Not as deep, but it's still, it's a lane ward. So some pretty clear tell of what their view is on the game right now.
Interesting choice from handsken, by the way. Look, I believe, I can't see the rest of his items, but I believe it's going to be a Shadow Blade instead of a Force Staff, so we'll see how that works out.
It's another good way of dealing with Clock. Then he can't see you to hook you and rocket you, obviously.
I mean, that's assuming that he doesn't have Dust or Sentry.
Yeah, I mean, but if you think about how fights usually break out at this point in the game, the goal for Shaker is to be able to Shadow Blade into, decent range. He doesn't need to come very close. He just needs to be in blink range so that he can blink in an echo. Whereas if he didn't have that and he walks through a ward, he's going to get rocketed, and then his opportunity is gone. So I kind of like the Shadow Blade, actually. It's good. Both that and Force I would have been happy with.
S4 running into Seleri. Going to actually use his blink. Tobi's here, though.
Seleri just swapped.
They're going to Yules. BKB is available for Boom. Necro ult is not enough to actually get the kill, but he actually will blink out to safety. No, Ember ends up finishing him off the old-fashioned way. And with that, Alliance is likely going to fall back here.
I don't know about that blink, man. That was not a
we do have vision, Cinderin. They do not, but yeah, that was still very aggressive.
This is always going to be I mean, people talk about caster's curse when we say somebody's doing something great and then they fail. The true caster curse is that we can see the whole map, actually. Because no matter what, we're always going to be presenting the game in a way that isn't truly what the players are experiencing, right? Because we see both fogs. So yeah, to us, this looks stupid. Obviously, S4 didn't have full vision of the area. He might have had a different read on who was present and who wasn't. But even with the info he had and his vision, I feel like that was a high risk. If you step away from what happened for a moment and just look at the map, right? That was a very, very dangerous play.
Yeah, it's one of those you run to somebody in the jungle and you're like, oh my god, I want this kill so bad. And you blink into a couple heroes and it's very unfortunate for him.
He definitely did not expect that many heroes to be there, because if he did, he would have never done that. Yep. So got surprised by how ready Viking were and how cohesively they're playing.
I am just shocked that Limp still really doesn't have anything. It's all defensive. He has the plate mail, obviously going for AC right now. Yeah. But I can't remember the last time I've seen a Kunkka just start off so well and then just not have much impact on the game.
That's true. BKB is online on Nico now, by the way. They broke it with Slight.
Okay.
One of the best spells in the game to break smoke.
He has a Titan sliver as well.
Might want to try to jump him here. Seleri is in a really good position, though. Boom can actually flat out bait this, and so can Shad. He's going to.
Take out the Necros. The Echo Slam to follow the...
Oh, they got him still!
It's not going to be enough to actually save him. Mana Void finishes him off, but he's going to buy back into the game. Still has the Eclipse, of course. AM jumps in with that BKB. Looks like he's going to take out the Vengeful Spirit. Hook shot to follow. Nikobaby trying to run away now. See if they can chase this. This is very important, considering the buybacks came out. A nice fissure there from handsken, blocking the neutral creeps.
I'm so surprised Shad died there, actually.
Tower could use a hand.
Seleri was a little bit slow on the swap, so Shad took some extra damage, and then the Sonic came through. But even with that, like, AM must have hit a lot of attacks in a row there. All right, nice play from Alliance. I didn't think that was going to work out because Viking looked so ready for it, but
the swap was also not
damage.
super... I mean, what level is he right now?
Yeah, it was not a long-range swap either. But he was in the trees, so he couldn't, like... If he was on max range, he would have dodged the Sonic Wave, and then Luna would have lived. The Sonic dealing damage there was important. Yeah, nice move from Alliance, though. That's really big. That is kind of pulling the game back to even suddenly. AM is now finally far ahead. Luna bought back there. It's expensive.
Yeah, that is true. Is there a reason Tobi doesn't finish the pipe? Looks like he's going for the Aeon Disc.
He might feel like it's run its course. There's BKB on Ember and Luna, so during that they don't need the pipe. And instead he's going to just get the hood for his own sake, so he gets tanky. And then he will enable his teammates in other ways. Like, Aeon is also an item just for yourself, but it's more of a team item in the sense that, you know, if you get jumped, you can still contribute because you break out. Whereas if you had a pipe and you get jumped, you die. So this way he can guarantee that he can have Ghost Shroud come off and eventually get a Reaper.
No, AC is now officially finished now onto Limp. So we'll see how much that will help with these pushes. The minus armor on the towers will be especially helpful, of course. I mean, they don't really have a 5-man lineup. I feel like AM is going to be kind of just doing his own thing for the most part, split pushing and keeping Vikings, I guess, on their toes is probably the best way to put it. I mean, if they can get this Luna kill in the next few minutes without this buyback available, they can definitely do some damage to these buildings.
Yep.
And it looks like Abyssal will be the next choice for Nikobaby.
And then it's Rapier time. It has to be, right? That's got to be his last item, and he would ideally like to have it with an Aegis.
Yeah, most likely.
But yeah. I think it inspires some confidence in Alliance that they just got this fight mid. It's a really big deal that they see that they can kill the Luna like this, and they force a buyback. He might have itemized differently if that didn't happen. Possibly. It's not for sure. Oh, S4 is in trouble here. Maybe. Yep, he's in trouble.
Yeah, they have the swap. Well, they don't need it, looks like. It's going to be the magic missile into the hook shot.
Look at Tobi walking towards AM as Necro. He doesn't give a shit, man.
Alliance
like, I have
all
this.
grouped up right now.
I don't know about this one, handsken.
And he's going to use his Shadow Blade. He actually uses Echo Slam to very little effect. It does activate the Aeon Disc. And now the
I think he didn't know
S4.
there was a disc. I think he genuinely didn't know. That is a non-play. That is absolutely a non-play. And that opens up Roche.
Yeah, absolutely. They don't have Echo Slam. I mean, they have the Ghost Ship as well as Sonic Wave, so they could technically still fight, but it is 4v5. Necro units coming in to scout things out. You can see it's about at half HP. This is the Aegis and Cheese on the line. Nikobaby opens up his wand slot to be able to take the Aegis. Sonic Wave. I'm sure Mana Void to follow as well. Vengeful Spirit's going to be the first to fall. Tobi at half HP, but staying alive right now. FNG having a nice Death Ward. Full channel time right now. As the buyback onto the Vengeful Spirit. Now Roshan only with 1200 HP. And here comes the Eclipse with the BKBs activated. Nikobaby jumps in. Reaper Scythe on the FNG's not quite enough. But it looks like the Aegis was taken by Shad, who dies immediately, so it gets consumed. See if they can turn this back around, though. Boom. Getting Enchant Totem by handsken. In the meantime, Shad going 1v1 versus Nikobaby, who eats the cheese. Apparently, he picked it up. That'll be enough for them to...
Oh, good chains.
Even things out, but triple kill for Boom now on the backside here in the mid lane. So a nice turnaround.
Didn't even look good for Viking when they made that initiation with the 4-staff Witch Doctor plus AM blinking in. That was very nice from Alliance. The big difference maker is Luna with the faster fingers getting the Aegis. If she doesn't get Aegis there, that's a total travesty. They get team wiped, Luna won't have buyback, and the game will likely just slip away from them. But now they're suddenly charging down mid with a double damage Luna. She hits for 607. Look at these racks when this tower falls.
Yes, that's quite tasty. Kunkka does have buyback. Quap does not. ES also, but he'll be back very soon.
Right,
Echo Slam is up in 10 seconds, Cinderin.
Oh,
Aramis looks like he might get chased down. But yeah, these racks are melting, and they're just going to go for Throne. I mean,
they're forcing a buyback
double
here
damage. Absolutely. I mean, they're going to get tier 4s. The buyback onto the Kunkka.
Yo,
This is going to be potential last stand for Alliance right now. FNG gets a nice cast up. He's getting decimated. Luna, in the meantime, getting swapped. Pops the BKB. Now finally starting to right-click Nikobaby, who jumps in for the kill on the Vengeful Spirit. Mana Void is not enough to actually secure himself a kill, and it looks like that's the death of AM, who buys back into the game immediately. The buildings are being hit by Luna, but there's the counter Echo Slam onto 2 heroes. Nikobaby still with no Mana Void, just used it recently. Limp extremely low on the Kunkka. Sonic Wave to follow. This might be a defense for Alliance. 2 buybacks available as well. Shad, though, huge hookshot from Aramis. And Shad doing just massive damage, and it looks like they will be able to finish off this game 1 in style. Wow, what an ending.
Man, when you just saw it, I had this feeling, should I say can they throne before they even kill the tier 3 tower? I think they might have been able to end the game if they didn't break